Hey, my name is Martin Benson, and I help actors with their marketing and branding. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get weekly updates from my latest tips and tricks. Over the course of the past few weeks, we've done some videos all about starting a side hustle, getting people to buy some sort of service from you so that you can support your acting career and go out to auditions not feeling so hungry and desperate for the role because you need to book work to pay your bills. If you go out and you feel relaxed and confident and natural, you're gonna start booking a lot more work. Plus, you can easily afford to get new headshots, marketing materials, and anything else that you need. That's why starting a side hustle is so important. And today, I want to talk about the final aspect. Last week, we talked a little bit about how to find your first paying client, but a lot of people get fearful about it. They get what's called imposter syndrome, or they start to feel worried like maybe I'm not good enough, or I'm not ready, or why should people pay me when there's a million other people out there who know this better than me? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. I have a couple of unique strategies and thought processes, mental shifts that will hopefully help you get through this pretty quickly and easily. So before we actually get into the actual advice here, I want to ask you a question. What do you think my experience level shooting headshots is? Or what do you think my, degree or certification is for shooting photography? Okay? I'll tell you, I currently run pretty much the #1 rated headshot studio in all of New York, and we work with over 120 clients each month. I have the opportunity to work with like thousands of actors every month who email me asking for advice on growing their career. I've helped some actors book roles on Broadway and all of this stuff. So what are my certifications for this? Or, why should people listen to me? Do you think that I have degrees, or, I've gotten, I've been mentored by any specific people or anything? All right, well, I'll tell you the answer. The answer is no. I don't have any photography degree. I am not an actor. So why would you listen to me for your acting career to grow and get more work? Why would casting networks, for instance, give me the right to be a bi-monthly or bi-weekly, should we say, contributor? Every 2 weeks, I get to write an article for them about how actors can book more work. Where did all of this come from if I have no credentials? Well, it comes from experience, okay? Experience from failure and experience from helping actors succeed. There's a secret that most people who are very successful don't want people who are unsuccessful or just starting out in an industry to know, because it would lead to a lot more competition. The secret is that to be able to charge people money for something, you don't need any credentials. No one cares about your certifications. Well, unless you're like in a legal issue, like, a doctor or somebody where the government is involved. But for the most part, you don't need any credentials. People don't care. All you need for someone to want to pay you is to know a little bit more about a subject than they know. As long as you can help them in some way solve whatever problem they have, they will be happy to pay you and they won't care about your credentials. If you can show them how you've helped someone who's similar to them and has a similar problem in the past, they will likely want to hire you as long as your rate is affordable for them to help them solve the same problem. People care about results. They care about results way more than they care about certifications, because there's plenty of people out there who are certified in things but don't do nearly as good of a job as someone who is not certified but has actually gotten people results. And that is one of the reasons that actors pay me for consulting and for digital courses and stuff, because the things that I teach actually get actors results, real results. Some actors will go out there and hire someone who has been in the industry for all these years and has certifications, but it's much more likely that they're gonna go out and hire the person who on their website says, oh, I helped mentor Leonardo DiCaprio to where he is today. because that person proves that they had results versus somebody who just has the degrees. And that is what matters most. And that is why I recommend that actors work for free, or anybody who's starting a side hustle work for free and get at least 2 or 3 clients, some sort of result. Because then you can go and point back to that result and say, look, I solved this person's problem, now I can help you solve yours. And that is the reason why people should buy from you, even if you're not super experienced. If you've gotten results for free for a couple of people, now you can go out and do it again, okay? Now look, we've talked about results and we've talked about the importance of, why people will want to actually buy from you. But what we haven't talked about yet is imposter syndrome, or more so getting in your own way because of it. Even though you understand the fact that you just have to know a little bit more about something, it's still, it can still sort of hold you back and make you fearful. Like, what if I mess up? Oh my gosh. Same way I felt when I had my first wedding photography wedding video job for my friend years and years ago when I first started my business. You could see the video where I talk about the exact 16 steps that I followed to grow my business from nothing to where it is today in the other video. But basically, I had this terrible fear that I would miss the shot of the kiss, or my camera would get corrupted, like the footage wouldn't, or the battery would die, or something would happen. And I was really fearful, but luckily I said yes. And that single yes led to more and more jobs, because once one event goes well, you feel like, now I can do that. It's kind of like taking your comfort zone. The second you step out of it, suddenly your entire comfort zone expands. So this fear of failure, or this imposter syndrome, like I'm not ready for this yet, is one of the biggest reasons that most actors stay stuck. They don't want to go out for that big audition because they don't think that they're ready for it yet. Or they're like, who am I? Am I good enough for this role? What if they say yes? And it's like these unconscious fears that start coming up. It's also one of the reasons that a lot of actors don't ever try doing the side hustle thing. They either think that they're not good enough for it yet, or that they won't ever have the time to be able to get good enough to be successful at it, or all these stories that they tell themselves that sort of keep them from wanting to pursue something that they really, really would like to have. So there's a few ways to get past this. And the first one is just an understanding of evolution. So we're going to go into a very quick biology lesson here, okay? Over time, humans have evolved. Science, regardless of what your religious belief is, I'm going off of science, and that says that over time, we evolved from, let's say, like primates, like monkeys that just were social creatures, and into cavemen, into what we are today. And if we're talking about like caveman days, back before everything was so safe and we lived in houses and had like societies, and we started killing off and eating and chaining up all of our animals and stuff, and we live in this crazy society that we are in today. Back in the day of cavemen, evolution made us be extremely fearful of the unknown. We didn't want to walk into a lion's den because we didn't know what would happen. And today, we still have that fear in us when we go into a situation where the outcome is unknown. We still get the same exact jittery anxiety type of feelings that cavemen would get dealing with lions when we go into an audition room, or when we go in to make a proposal like I did to that first client where I fell flat on my face. The same feelings come up, and these feelings are evolutionary protection mechanisms, but they have no basis in reality today. The truth of the matter is that people mostly only care about themselves. There's a great quote. It goes, when I was 20, I always worried about what other people were thinking of me. When I was 40, I stopped caring what other people were thinking of me. And when I was 60, I realized no one was ever thinking of me. And if they were just wondering what I was thinking of them. So when you think about it, evolution has taught us to stay inside of our own comfort zones because it's protecting us from being eaten. But of course, we're not actually going to be eaten these days. We're just going to experience a little bit of embarrassment, right? So the best way to get past this fear of, comfort zone, stepping out of your comfort zone, is to take on a different viewpoint. Would you agree with me as an actor that you want to become the best actor you can be? Most actors would say, yes, I do want to become the best actor that I can be. I want to become really, really good at what I do. So then I would ask you, then consciously, maybe it makes sense why you want to sort of hold yourself from going out on an audition, because you're like, well, I'm not good enough yet. But I need to ask you another slightly more difficult question, and that is, how will you ever truly know when you are good enough? What gives you the right to determine when you're good enough? Technically, you should not be the one who's making the judgment call on whether you're ready. The world should be. So if you think about it from that perspective, the fact of the matter is that you're holding yourself to a lower standard by saying that you're not ready for something yet. It's way better to go out there, fail, or fall flat on your face in the audition, or make a fool of yourself or whatever, and learn from that mistake and then figure out how to get past that, than to keep deluding yourself and saying like, oh, I'm not ready yet, or maybe I am ready yet, or whatever. You need to let the world give its actual real life feedback so that you know whether something is possible or not for you. Now that I've said that, hopefully you're starting to think about how you can go out there and fail a little bit more often. I'd like you to take a moment right now and think about what is one thing that you really feel like you should be doing, but you haven't because you think that you're not ready yet, or you've been holding yourself back, or somehow you've been getting in your own way. And I want you to write it in the comments below. Put it there and say, I am going to now do this. If you do that, you can put it out there to the world so that other people, and you make sure that you yourself and other people hold you accountable for doing it. That's really the only way to step outside of your comfort zone, is to look at things and say, I'm going to hold myself to the highest possible standard. So what is it that you need to do that will really, really force you to move to that next level in your career that you've been afraid to do so far, or thinking that you're not ready for it yet? Is it asking someone for help when you think that they might say no? Is it spending money and investing in a course or a program, or hiring an acting coach or something for you? What is it that you really feel like you need to do? Write it in the comments below and hold yourself accountable to it. I will personally be reading all of the comments, and I'll check out what you write. Once you write it in the comments, it's your job to go out and make it actually happen, okay? So I hope that you enjoyed today's video, and as always, don't forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Oh, and one other thing. If you're an actor looking to book more work, you might consider checking out my free mini course called The Practical Performer. In it, I outline basically things that actors pay business of acting coaches thousands of dollars for. You'll learn exactly how to create a brand, or how to find your brand. You'll also learn the 7 key ways to find paid acting work. And you'll even learn how to create relationships with casting directors out of nothing, people who you've never met before, in a really simple, authentic way that does not feel spammy or salesy at all. So check out the course. All you have to do is visit martinbenson.com/mini-course. And otherwise, I will see you next week in our next video.